What is going on? What is going on, guys? We are here and we are live talking about this Thursday night football game. I am by myself tonight. I am your host, Coach D, and we're here to talk about a crazy game. Not even a crazy game, a little competitive game, as you say. It's more of a competitive game than anything. With the Indianapolis Colts versus the New England Patriots. It has been an interesting night because I came straight home from work and I was able to watch the second half of the game. So with that being said, I'm able to at least break down the second half for y'all today. With that being said, so let's get straight into it, man. I got home, and by the time I got home, it was halftime. And what happened is that I was able to catch the second half of this game. And I feel like with this game, personally, the Colts should have won this game. And I'm going to just be honest with y'all. The Colts should have won this game. And the reason why I say that, because the Colts had 2 turnovers when it mattered. And me, personally, I feel like that the Indianapolis Colts definitely lost themselves in this game when it comes to the second half. Me personally, y'all had this game. Y'all was down a touchdown, and y'all let Tom Brady throw the bomb to Josh Gordon, which it was something of that nature that I really didn't like. It's 2 defenders on Josh Gordon at the end of the day. It's 2 defenders on Josh Gordon. Why nobody couldn't try to pick him up? I understand he's a physical specimen. He's tall. He's lengthy. But it's 2 corners. It's a safety in a corner over top of him. It could have been offensive pass interference because he kind of pushed off a little bit. But he really didn't do that. He didn't. I mean, it was small, but it was enough to a point where they could have called a penalty on Josh Gordon for that. So salute to the New England Patriots for getting a bounce back win. We saw Julian Edelman come back, and he had a few drops. But I really want to say something to this Indianapolis Colts receiving corps. In this Indianapolis Colts organization, y'all need to call Dez Bryant, because y'all not getting it done without T.Y. Hilton. Y'all is not getting it done without him. And it's sad that it shows at the game when T.Y. Hilton is not in the game. It shows. There's no way that you don't go out and don't get a receiver. T.Y. Hilton is your guy, but at the same time, you need another weapon. You don't have no other weapons outside of T.Y. Hilton. And that's sad. I mean, you got Ebron and Jack Doyle's hurt. You got Himes coming out the backfield. Wilkins, he's okay. But I just feel personally that this could have been a better game if you would have had Dez Bryant on your squad. Dez Bryant needs the call. He's not going back to Dallas. I don't understand why nobody's calling him. But right now, the Indianapolis Colts need a receiver because y'all had too many drops tonight in the second half. Just from what I was watching in the second half, too many drops. Unacceptable. It is unacceptable. You get paid millions of dollars to catch a football while you're wide open. There's no way you should be dropping the football. You made the 53-man roster for a reason, Indianapolis. And I'm talking to all the Indianapolis receivers. Now, I'm not talking about Eric Ebron, because Eric Ebron balled out tonight. He balled out. Him and Nyheim Hines balled out tonight. But for the rest of your receivers, get rid of all of them. Get rid of all of them. Please. Indianapolis Colts, I'm begging you, get rid of all of them. But before we get into anything, I do want to get into some stats and get into what's going on with this team. Because I give a lot of slack to the New England Patriots because I feel like they a cheat code all the time, but they actually bounced back. They bounced back from what we actually remember about them. They really look like the New England Patriots that we knew of, and that's just me. That's just me. But I do want to get into some stats here, so let's just get into some stats and get it rocking here with these stats here. You have we're gonna go with the Indianapolis Colts stats, team stats as first, and then we go individual stats. But let's go individual stats first, because I want to look at the Indianapolis Colts and see what they're talking about here, because now they fall to 1-4, and they 1-2 away from home. So with that being said, let's look at this. Andrew Luck was 38 for 59, 365 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. His QBR rating like 84.4, really not bad. Not really, it's okay, but it's not the best. But he was averaging 6.2 yards a carry. 6.2 yards a carry. But he threw the ball damn near 60 times. They only ran the ball 21 times. That's not a formula of success. Period. It's not a formula of success that you only run the ball 21 times. And Andrew Luck, with that banged up shoulder, that surgical shoulder, he shouldn't be throwing the ball no 59 times. Come on, y'all. Think about that. Think about that. Why would he want to throw the ball 59 times with a person that just got off a shoulder injury? That's dumb. It's dumb. I wouldn't put myself in that predicament. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put myself in that predicament. So Nyheim Hines had 15 carries for 45 yards, and Jordan Wilkins had 6 carries for 39 yards. That's not enough. 21 carries for 84 yards in between the two of them. That's not enough to win a game. It's not effective whatsoever. Me personally, Nyheim Hines should touch the ball more. Jordan Wilkins should get it in the tougher downs. That's just my personal opinion there. And I think they should have ran the ball more. 21 times out of a game. Out of a game. But look at the New England Patriots rushing. They had 23 rushes for 97 yards and 2 touchdowns. So they ran the ball effectively, getting to the end zone, and their long was 34 compared to Indianapolis long. Their long was 16 yards. That's not a formula of success. It's not a formula of success to win football games. If you want to run the football, run it effectively. That's just me personally there. I just don't like what he's the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. He was the former offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. But at the same time, you need to get this done. You need to get it done. Period. My apologies right now. But like I said, let's get straight into the receiving core for the Indianapolis Colts. Eric Ebron, he had a stellar night. He had 9 receptions for 105 yards, 11.7 yards average every time he caught the football, and 2 touchdowns on 15 targets. He had 15 targets. Why? Because Chester Roberts had 8 receptions for 66 yards, 8.3 yards a carry. His longest was 24. He was targeted 11 times. That's not really bad for Chester Rogers, but he had a 1 drop that was wide open on a 2nd down where he could have just caught that football. Andrew Luck put it in there to a point where he needed, it was right in the right position to actually, how can I say it? He was in position to catch the football. Period. He was in position to catch the football. Ryan Grant, 6 receptions for 58 yards. His longest was 19 on 9 targets. Then you had Nyheim Hines, had 7 receptions for 45 yards and 9 targets. Eric Swoop, he had 3 receptions for 44 yards, and he had the receiving touchdown. And that's just for the receiver core for Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts did fumble one time. Jordan Wilkins, he had 1 fumble loss right there. And this, I have to give it up for the Indianapolis Colts defense. And I'm gonna say something about them, because I did not know they were second in leading in team sacks. I didn't know that at all until they actually said it on the actual doing the actual thing. OVA Productions, what up? I didn't know you was doing a recap. Yeah, man, I always do a recap. If you look at all my channels, I always do a recap on Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, and Sunday Night Football. I make sure I do a recap of those, man. So please share this stream, share this live. Let everybody know to come in here and talk in the chat so we can definitely have our time here. But definitely, like I said, the New England Patriots had too many opportunities to win this game in the second half. Like I said earlier, I did not watch the actual first half of this game. I apologize. I'm getting notifications right now. Sorry, people telling me about my live right now. For hopefully they could join and everything of that nature. But me personally, like I just don't understand the Indianapolis Colts right now. That's one of our old picks down. I didn't think the game would be the way it was. Yeah. First half, yeah, absolutely. They absolutely dominated the first half. They dominated the first half, and the Indianapolis Colts got down to one touchdown where they was in the game to the point where they could have tied this game up. But no, they had the interception by, I forgot the guy's name. His name, give it a P, Pascal or something like that. That's what I think his name is. I think his name is Pascal. Me personally, he got that. He caught the ball, and then I guess it hit his foot, and then it popped up, and that's what happened. Me personally, I just didn't feel like the Indianapolis Colts did enough to win this football game, but it was a winnable game for them. They could have upset the New England Patriots in New England, but I do want to put it out there. Shout out to Tom Brady. He threw his 500th touchdown pass. That is an accomplishment for an actual NFL quarterback. Tom Brady is just adding on to his legacy, just adding on to it, showing his legacy that he's one of the greats of all time. People like quarterbacks are just breaking records today. I mean, in the NFL, in today's NFL, they are breaking mad records for that. So let's just get straight into the New England Patriots stats, because I'm done with the Indianapolis Colts. They had a chance to win this game this week when they was down 7, and then they had a chance to win last week when they did the dumb behind 4th down in overtime. But that's another story for another day. So let's just get into the Tom Brady in the New England Patriots stats, because they was the one that win this game. They go to 3-2. They are 3-0 at home. They scored 14 points in the fourth quarter to end this game. Me personally, Tom Brady, 34 for 44. He only had 10 incompletions for 341 yards, 7.8 yards average with 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and he did not get sacked, not once. Not once. OVA Production said Chris Hogan needs to leave. Brady, don't target him anymore like that. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't. And Chris Hogan was one of those weapons for him in the Super Bowl, which I don't understand why he doesn't target Chris Hogan. I know Julian Edelman, your favorite target, came back tonight, and Ron Gronkowski is one of your favorite targets too. But Chris Hogan definitely needs targets, and I'm about to see how many targets he had since you brung Chris Hogan up. Chris Hogan only have, according to the team stats, Chris Hogan only had 4 targets, and he had 3 receptions for 34 yards, and his longest was 21. So Tom Brady was 34 for 44, 341 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You had Sony Michel. Sony Michel had a great game tonight. And this is where the running game gets really interesting. It gets really interesting because he had 18 carries. 18 carries for 98 yards, 5.4 yards a carry and a touchdown, and his longest was 34. Him as an individual had a longer rushing on the day than Nyheim Hines and Jordan Wilkins combined. And James White did the thing in the receiving. Like, as far as running the football, he didn't do much. But when it came to catching the football, absolutely different. It was absolutely different. So let's just go straight into the receiving because that's where it turns out to be. So James White had 10 receptions for 77 yards, 7.7 yards average and a touchdown. And his longest was 18 points. He gets 14 targets and he only out of 14 targets he caught 10. That's better than a lot of receivers out here right now. That's better than a lot of receivers right now. He had 14 targets, y'all. 14 targets and he had 10 receptions. So that means he only had 4 drops. Not even drops or just 4 targets that Tom Brady threw to him. That's crazy. For a running back to get 10 receptions out of 14 targets, he should be in your fantasy lineup every week in DraftKings, FanDuel, Draft, ESPN, NFL, everywhere. That's where it should be at. It should be in every lineup. Every lineup. But we had Gronk. He had more receptions than Gronk, y'all. He had more receptions than Gronk. Gronk only had 6 receptions for 75 yards, but he averaged 12.5 yards a catch. That's when he did catch the ball. You had Julian Edelman with 7 receptions for 57 yards. Josh Gordon had 2 for 50 and had 1 touchdown. Chris Hogan had 3 for 34. Philip Dorsett 3 for 25. Sony Michel, you had 1 for 25, 1 for 12 yards, and Cordell Patterson 2 receptions, 11 yards, and 1 touchdown. Devin McCourty has a strip fumble on Jordan Wilkins, so that's where he get that at. And Devin McCourty, he leads the team tonight in total tackles. He had 14 total tackles, 11 solo. Patrick Chung had 11 total tackles, but 3 solo. Van Noy had 8 total tackles and 6 solo tackles. So honestly, these defenses are really looking good right now for the New England Patriots. They really played well tonight. They actually really balled out. But Gronk is still hurt, and I think that's why Brady laid off him a little. Yeah, I actually agree with that. I actually do agree with that he actually did lay off of Gronk because of it. But James White is just a guy where he could just catch the ball out the backfield. He's more of the passing catch running back than he actually is a actual running back. I think Butler went out tonight too. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know, but James White is the number 1 running back. You have a catching running back, and you have a Sony Michel that can run in between the tackles, so you have a balance. You have a balance with the New England Patriots. You have a balance with them, and I feel like it was definitely something to talk about. It was to talk about, but I want to get into Eric Ebron. Eric Ebron had a real slow start in Detroit as a tight end. He had a real slow start. He was very inconsistent when he was there. When he came over to Indianapolis Colts, every game Eric Ebron was in against the new with the Indianapolis Colts, he scored a touchdown. He's pulling up. He's making himself potentially to be a tight end in the lineup every week if you know he's going to get in the end zone every week. So Eric Ebron is showing why he's the guy. He's showing why he could be the number 1 tight end outside of Jack Doyle. Jack Doyle is definitely going to, Eric Ebron just took Jack Doyle's spot. He did. Jack Doyle was a great receiver, but he stayed hurt. Exactly, OVA Productions, he stays hurt. And that's why I like Eric Ebron. He had a rough patch in Detroit where he barely could get the football, but now that is Andrew Luck's favorite target now, especially with no T.Y. Hilton. You're going to get a better Eric Ebron. He's going to be a number 1 target. And let me see what's the targets that he had tonight. Let me double check that for y'all. So his targets tonight, He had 9 receptions for 105 yards. He had 9 receptions off of 15 targets. So you telling me if he's getting 15 targets, majority of these games, you have to put him in the lineup because that's what Andrew Luck is looking for. And since T.Y. Hilton is not 100% healthy, but like I said in the beginning of the live stream, like I said before, I said this and I will say this only, and I will say this to y'all again. Indianapolis Colts need to call Dez Bryant. You need a receiver outside of T.Y. Hilton and Eric Ebron. It's not enough. It's not enough whatsoever. It's not enough. So with that being said, y'all, Indianapolis Colts, this is my request to y'all. Call Dez Bryant. Call Dez Bryant. Understand he's a factor, or he might do this or do that in the locker room, but Andrew Luck needs a receiver like Dez Bryant. He needs a receiver like him. So for y'all to go into this game with no T.Y. Hilton and a bunch of number 2 receivers that can't play a number 1, did you really expect to win the game? Did you really expect to win the game? Me personally, I didn't think, in my prediction, in my picks, if you go look on our channel, on the Spotlight Sports Talk, go look on our channel for NFL Week 5 picks, is definitely going down. But me personally, we did say in our picks that the New England Patriots will win this game. So, but at the end of the day, the Colts had chances to upset the New England Patriots, but it's too many opportunities that was taken away from them because of the 2 interceptions and the fumble. Brady threw 2 interceptions, but at the same time, he won the football game. So, Indianapolis coach, I got to make a call to him. You have to make a call to him. No way, no how. And Ebron played hurt with 15 targets out of 9. He played hurt. Shout out to OVA, man. Shout out to my guy. Shout out to my guy. I should have had him come on here and talk his stuff on this live. But for now on, if you want to get on OVA, let me know so we can definitely do these live recaps for Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, and Sunday Night Football. Even live play-by-play for any sport. If I'm available, we can do a live play-by-play for baseball, hockey, college football. It doesn't matter to me. We could do live play-by-play reactions with these games. But like I said, the Indianapolis Colts end up losing this game. We did the so now the New England Patriots does win this game 38-24 over the Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts fall to 1-4. They're 1-2 away. New England Patriots are 3-2 and they are 3-0 at home. So let's just get down through the team stats because I really like to break down the team stats. Because me personally, this tells why the other team won. That's what it tells. It tells why the other team won. Yeah, bro, I know who you are. I definitely know who you are, man. I know this by your logo. I know this by your logo, bro. I know exactly who you are. But in Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots, first downs 26-26. Passing first downs 20-18. Rushing first downs 5 rushing first downs compared to New England's 7 rushing first downs. First downs from penalties 1-1. Third down efficiency. The Colts was 7 for 15 on third down efficiency, and New England Patriots was 5 for 10 on third down efficiency. Fourth down efficiency, the Colts was 2 for 3. New England Patriots did not go for it on fourth down. Total play, this is mind-boggling to me.